So people are like, well, geez, he just got married. Why is he having these conversations? I mean, again, 30-year career, new album, new tour, and his status as a lover guy, a lover boy, has been well known and well talked about. One of his biggest albums was based on the illusion that it was all about his relationship. So the expectation that when he is kicking off such a big time in his life with a tour, a new album, the Super Bowl performance, plus a TV show that's upcoming, that he's not going to revisit those moments in his life is one, ridiculous. Two, y'all know you want to hear about it because if you didn't, nobody would be asking him the question. So we'll have to see. He seems very happy and content with his wife. His wife doesn't say much of anything as far as the stuff. And, I'm not saying that in a bad way or a negative way. She is letting him do him. And they seem to be fine and very much in love. You would think that if he was unsure on the rebound or hesitant or anything like that, he wouldn't pick the biggest moment of the latter half of his career to go and jump into a new marriage. So kudos to Usher and kudos to Tameka for being mature and moving on and co-parenting successfully, and Chilli for doing what they do. Tameka said as far as their kids, she said that they have the best amazing children and that they have the personalities of both of them and that it's working. She said she didn't even realize that Usher was not already married. She's like, what is this, two, three wives now or something like that? She said she hasn't paid attention. All she's concerned about is that he is a good father to his kids and that they're co-parenting. She did acknowledge about the backlash, though. She said that I was not loved for that, as far as, getting involved with Usher and so forth. She said, the worst part of it for me, I just don't feel that black love is embraced anymore. I think that it's a thing of the past. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's as celebrated. Nowadays, we have to change the narrative, but we have to find the men that agree with us. That's the problem. The men are going the other way. She said, my self esteem at that time, we're talking about 10 plus years ago, she was like, the sisters didn't appreciate that. They didn't like that. And what I take from that is that because sometimes people will say, well, how do you know it was black women? Unfortunately, it was. Sometimes we can be the cruelest to our own. And she pointed out, sisters, it was black women that were giving her the hardest time, talking about she's old or she looked old and worn down and, sent her off to South America for plastic surgery and she almost lost her life. Shannon Thompson is asking, where's Grace? Grace she recently released, I talked about it a couple months ago. What is the new project? She released, was it a podcast or a book? I think it was a book Grace recently released. I'm not sure if she is still in a relationship with Questlove, but she and Questlove were in a long term relationship, which is very interesting. You go from Usher to Questlove. But look at me doing exactly to Quest with some people. I'm not saying it like that though. I mean, that is the obvious, but it is interesting when you see people move along. But to Andy's point earlier, you never know what you're really going to connect to. So Grace is doing well. She's in New York, and I believe it was a book that she released about something about happiness and finding happiness or something of that nature.